So I just finished watching the 2023 Game Awards, the yearly show that's put on by Jeff Keighley every year that's supposed to celebrate the year's games, you know, it'd be the Oscars of the video games and give out the award for whatever the best game of the year actually is. But the main thing I usually watch it for, because I genuinely don't care what they give out awards to, if I'm going to be honest. I just don't really care because it doesn't always fit in my opinion. But what I watch it for are the reveals. What's coming? What are the future video games we are getting to look forward to? And this is a channel that I have that's mostly based on movies, but I do want to talk more about video games going forward and some of the stuff that I like. And I really want to talk about some of the stuff in this show that was revealed that I like. And there wasn't much. I gotta be honest, this was a very, very long show, and it was kind of hard to sit through, and there was not much exciting about it. And that is just me. I'm sure there's a lot of people that really enjoyed the show. They love the presentation. They love the award stuff. But for me, I was looking for more reveals. I just didn't get a lot of them, but we did get some, so I want to talk about that here. And I will say, I missed the days of, like, the old E3. Like, I remember, like, E3 2016, I believe, when, like, PlayStation just came out and hit us with, like, God of War and Final Fantasy VII, and, like, all of this crazy shit just blew the roof off the place. And, like, we don't ever get that anymore. Like, the most we'll get is, like, one decent reveal at a lot of these big shows. Like, we really don't get big reveals, big, you know, massive shows anymore, and that just kind of sucks, and I don't understand why the industry has moved away from that. But, you know, at least we got the GTA 6 trailer this week, so there's that. But let's get into some of the stuff that we saw. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is God of War Valhalla. Yeah, it's a brand new DLC, and appears to be a story-based DLC, kind of, for God of War Ragnarok that's coming out next week. Now, I personally, probably not going to play it, because it does not look like a full big DLC. It mainly looks like more just action areas. It doesn't really look like a big story thing. I know that they're currently working on either some big DLC game-ish type thing for God of War Ragnarok, where you're going to be playing as Atreides. I don't know if they're making another a full God of War package, but unfortunately, this is not that yet, so I'm not that interested in this. We also got another big trailer for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Now, I never played the first Senua game, but I really want to. It's on my backlist. It's something that I really, really want to play at some point. This is a game that's really looked interesting to me. The music, the set pieces, the graphics look absolutely insane. Everything about the atmosphere of this looks incredibly like it's something that's up my alley, and I'm very, very interested in this. Now, before this comes out, I will be playing the first game, but I don't know when this is coming out. I think they said 2024, but this is a game that was revealed like 3-4 years ago, and it's just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But yeah, if it comes out next year, I will be playing it, and I will do a review for this one, because it looks like a big cinematic experience. And when I do review video games on this channel, which won't be often, because it's mainly a movie and TV show, type stuff on this channel that I review, but when I do review a video game, it's going to be something like this, a big cinematic experience. And that's what Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, whatever the hell it's called. That's what this looks like, and it looks great. I'm excited for it. We also got another trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is another game that I will definitely be reviewing for a multitude of reasons. One of which is because I kind of think this might end up being a disaster, and I hope it's not, because I am the biggest Arkham fan on planet Earth. The 3 Arkham games that Rocksteady made, and also the 4th one, Arkham Origins, that was made by Warner Brothers Montreal. I love those games. They are some of my favorite games of all time. Arkham City and Arkham Knight might be my 2 favorite video games I've ever played, and the fact that we've waited this long to get Rocksteady's game, I remember thinking every single year, God, I wonder what they're working on. God, what are they making? Is it a Superman game? Is it a Justice League game? And I remember being utterly crushed when I found out it was just a Suicide Squad game. And the more and more I've learned about this game, and the more and more gameplay I've seen of it, and everything around it, just the noise of it being live servicey, and just It crushes my soul that it's been 8 years of waiting on Rocksteady, arguably my favorite game studio ever, and it appears that we're getting kind of a generic third-person live service game, and that is just utterly soul-crushing. And granted, the game's not out yet. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm going to get it on day one, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be centered on its story. It's going to be an action-packed game. The characters will actually be fun to play as. The world will be cool, and the open world will be as deep and as dense as the Arkham games are, which is what I really loved about those games. It was just so dense with both side missions, regular content, and just so much stuff like Easter eggs that really immersed you in the universe, and that's what I really love about Rocksteady, and I hope this game has that, and I hope its story is big and bold, and it really feels like something that they worked on for 8 years, and I hope it's just not a live service piece of shit, which is what I'm kind of thinking it's going to end up being. But overall, it comes out in a couple months. I will have a review for this one. We also got another trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, this is coming in a couple months, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. I have not played any version of Final Fantasy VII. I am just getting into Final Fantasy right now. I'm currently about, I don't know, 10 to 15 hours-ish in the Final Fantasy 16, and I really enjoy it, and I'm probably going to play Final Fantasy VII Remake next, and then at some point next year, I will get to Rebirth, and I might review it. I don't know, but a lot of people are into this shit. If you're into it, it's coming soon. Now, one of the biggest reveals of the entire thing, if I had to guess, probably the biggest reveal, in my opinion, of a new game at the entire event was Arcane's new game, Blade. And fuck yeah, this is awesome. Although I am a little bit concerned, because I feel like when it comes to superhero video games, all of these companies are announcing these new games almost every year at the Game Awards, at the Summer Game Fest. It's almost every show there's a new game getting announced, but there's no gameplay, there's no release date, and all of them are just kind of in limbo. Don't believe me? Well, here's some examples. What about Motive's Iron Man game? What about that Black Panther Captain America game that's supposed to be coming out? What about that standalone Black Panther game that's supposed to also be coming out? What about the Wonder Woman game that got announced like 2 years ago? Like, where are these games? But here we go, we have another one. At least this one is being made by Arcane Studio, who is, you know, they are a very, very great and respected studio in the gaming industry, and this is exciting. Blade is an awesome character, and besides the fact that Marvel is having a very, very tough time getting a movie made, which, by the way, how? You have Mahershala Ali, who is awesome, and a character who is so cool, and you can't figure out how to make a movie around that, but you can make The Marvels like it's nothing? You get that one put together fast. Makes no sense. But either way, Blade looks amazing. It's going to be a third-person game, which is very different from Arcane. They make first-person shooters. This is going to be a third-person action game set in France. You're going to be playing as Blade, who is this half-vampire, half-badass, guns, you know, sword-slinging guy. He's just awesome. The trailer looked cool, and this was the one reveal in the entire show that actually got, like, a reaction out of me. That actually got me excited to play video games. I was like, yes, a Blade video game is amazing, and it's probably going to come out before the movie. There's also this other game called Exodus that was shown off, and the only reason I want to talk about this one is because Matthew McConaughey came out to present it, and that was really fun. He's barely in the game. I don't know anything else outside of that besides, you know that he's in it, but overall, it looks okay. And also, if you like No Man's Sky, which I haven't played it in years. I played it when it first came out. I absolutely hated it. It made me want to die. But if you like that game, they have a new game coming out. I believe it's called Light No Fire, and it's supposed to be this big open world Earth game. And the way it was described as at the event was it is the first ever true open world game. And you know what? I don't trust a goddamn thing this studio says about its games. I'm not gonna buy into it. It looks cool. Maybe it'll be great. I don't care. Also, if you're into that Monster Hunter stuff, we have a new Monster Hunter game coming out. I don't really care. I don't play any of them. You could hate me for that, or you could love me. I don't really care. But yeah, it looks like Monster Hunter. So if you like all the other ones that do amazingly well, then you're probably going to like this one when it eventually comes out. It actually made me laugh, though, because the trailer was like this big epic thing, and then it ended on a black screen. And then you see the 2025 thing pop up. And it's just like, I feel like this is going to become a meme. I feel like the 2025 release date is about to become a very, very big meme over the next couple months. Last but not least, we have Hideo Kojima's new reveal. And let me just say something. Hideo Kojima is one of my favorite human beings ever. When I think about my biggest influences when it comes to movie making, when it comes to my storytelling, and the stuff that I want to do in my life, yeah, there's guys like Tarantino, guys like Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan that inspire me. But Hideo Kojima is on that list. His writing and his games his work in the Metal Gear Solid series is unbelievable. And I, even if I'm only one of the few on the planet, absolutely love Death Stranding. It's one of my favorite games ever. And I went into this show hoping and praying to see a new trailer for Death Stranding 2. It's been a whole year, and that first reveal trailer was so cool, and I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and instead we get whatever the hell this is. OD, or Overdose. This is, for years now we've known that Kojima was working on two games. He was working on Death Stranding 2, and he was working on some other game for Xbox that's like a weird hybrid game, movie type thing that's gonna be working on the cloud service. I remember seeing a leaked teaser for this a couple years ago, and it sort of looked like this weird horror horror, like, reality show in which there's players playing in this horror show and there's other people, like, outside the game interacting with them. Like, it's definitely a weird concept from what I've known and what I've heard about it behind the scenes, and I definitely think it's going to be really interesting. And they actually announced some cool actors that are in it. The trailer didn't show anything. It was just still shots of the actors that are in the game. Like, there's no gameplay in this trailer. But you know what? I'm down for it. They brought Jordan Peele out on stage, which was cool, and he promised that this is, like, the coolest thing ever. But if you ask me, alright, last year, you put out one of the greatest cinematic trailers ever, revealing Death Stranding 2. It was so awesome. It was so exciting. We hear nothing about it for a year. You show up at the Game Awards. I'm expecting more news on this game that I feel like is coming out soon, but now I feel like it's probably coming out in 2025, but God, I just wanted to see more Death Stranding 2, and I have a feeling it's probably being saved for maybe a PlayStation, show in the next couple months. I know they usually do, like, a state of play in December or January, so it's probably being saved for that, but man, I really wanted to see it, and the fact that we didn't was very upsetting and depressing and made me really, really sad. But yeah, OD looks great. I can't wait to play it in 2027, whatever the hell it is. But overall, yeah, the Game Awards were a mixed bag. If you want to hear about the winners, I'm not going to spoil it here, but go, you can probably figure out which games won. No, I have not played Baldur's Gate 3, and I don't know if I'm going to, because, turn-based combat is ass, and I don't care what anybody says. I am not dealing with turn-based combat in 2023. I'm just not playing a game like that. I like my cinematic, very straightforward stories. I'm a very simple man with not a lot of time in my hands, okay? So I play very simple story games. That's what I like. But either way, if you guys watch the Game Awards, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. If you guys want to see more of my channel, I make a lot of stuff on movies, TV stuff. I will have some game coverage later on. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, maybe even join my subscription thing. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.